Game week 36. So we have 3 more weeks left, which is crazy to think, but means our mini leagues are starting to wrap up. And if you need to gain ground, the next 2 weeks have actually got double game weeks, so time to either pick some certain differentials, take hits to try to catch up, etc. So let's have a look at some standout game week fixtures. And well, the first place to start is really Newcastle and Brighton because they have double game weeks. So Newcastle's fixtures are Newcastle and Leeds, and then Newcastle and Brighton. Brighton therefore then have Brighton Newcastle, and also Arsenal Brighton. So actually quite tough fixtures. Other standout options: Liverpool against Leicester could be a goal fest. But obviously Leicester's fighting for their lives right now, so you never know. I reckon they wouldn't keep a clean sheet again. Liverpool, that is. Whether they win or not, who knows. United, they're missing Rashford, or most likely missing Rashford, so that's going to be interesting. So not necessarily one to target, and you could target the City game, but with the Champions League next week, I reckon there'll be heavy rotation, so you're literally playing with fire. So let's have a look at the players I think you should target. And no surprise, but it will be obviously lots of Newcastle and Brighton players. So goalkeeper, to be honest, I think most people will have double Newcastle defence as it is. But if not, you need a goalkeeper. Pope makes sense. You could probably hold him out for the rest of the season. Chelsea's not the best fixture, but I think it's fine. Then you got the double game week as well. If not, still a very cheap option. One thing I'd say, I really wouldn't target Brighton defenders. So, at least for this week. But if you have to make a transfer and that's the only thing you can afford, I guess you can get sort of save points with Newcastle and Arsenal, and then next week you could start him one against Southampton, one against City. Arguably would actually Southampton are basically relegated. Okay, never mind. I would say maybe they wouldn't keep a clean sheet in the next 4. I reckon Southampton have a chance to score against them, to be fair. So, but keepers I probably wouldn't go for because it's just not that exciting. So defenders, easy. Trippier, most people have. Good attacking goal threat. Honestly, Newcastle have been keeping clean sheets, but I think it's probably about time they start. Against Sam Allardyce, though, maybe there will be a new manager bounce. Who knows? But with Trippier, you at least know you're going to get some attacking threat. Botman, Shaw, both similar. I reckon Shaw has a better goal threat. Did he score? No, why has he got minus? Okay, scored an own goal. But in general, he will have a better goal threat than Botman. He's obviously more expensive, though. And then Botman's just kind of a standard, boring, but effective pick. So I've already said that I wouldn't target Brighton defenders, but I have put Stupinan there just because he's got attacking threat. More so than, say, Dunk, though I guess Dunk could be good at set pieces. But Stupinan, you're kind of getting ready for him for next week as well. So it's long term, you're getting 4 games out of in the next 2 weeks, which is pretty good. Will he start all of them? Up for debate. So midfielders, might actually have a look at the Newcastle page because I haven't really had any of their midfielders, but I wouldn't go for them. But Gross just added here just because he's been getting minutes. He got a nice double digit haul against Wolves, but wouldn't go for him. So I'm going to remove him off the list, but just before I show, I'd consider him. Now, there's a big issue in FPL this week, which is because March has got injured. March has been one of those players everyone's relatively love to own because he's just contributed decently well. Not spectacularly well, but decently well. But the last few weeks have been an absolute pain in owning him. He's played 55 minutes against Wolves. In 6-0, he didn't contribute any. And then Man United, he came on from the bench. And I think Everton, he didn't start. He came on and got injured, right? So he's definitely missing the first game, Arsenal. So if ever you wanted him to miss one game, I guess it would be the Arsenal game. But, is he going to be back? He's out of favour. I probably would get rid of him. Which leads to the most likely replacement, which is McAllister. Now, if you look at their last game on Google, it shows that this is their type of formation, which is showing McAllister as more of a deep lying role. That's not good because we want him higher up in the pitch. But just based on some of the figures, this is... Was it a pen? I think it must have been a pen, actually. Oh, no, it wasn't a pen. Interesting. But his expected goals numbers, this was a pen, I'm pretty sure. Yes, it was a pen, actually. His general XGI numbers are pretty good, and with Matoma running in from behind and stuff like that, most likely there could be one more or two more pens within the next season, in this season, and that means McAllister is actually going to do quite well scoring penalties, and then he just offers a better goal threat, I would think, compared to Gross, for example. Matoma, uninspiring recently. He had this run of what was it, like 5 attacking returns in a row. Just then hasn't returned that well. His XG numbers aren't too bad though. So 0.52 in the last game against Everton. Oh, he got an assist, right? And then 0.74 against United. But so I think he could be quite interesting own. Like, it is a tough double game week, Arsenal, Newcastle, but and you're kind of contradicting yourself, because if your Brighton attacking plays do well, then your Newcastle defence isn't doing well. But I guess you're banking on the Leeds fixture for Newcastle defenders. Moving on to strike, I'll get onto the hot debate in a moment, but just a shout, well, not a shout out, just a mention of the cheap Brighton forwards. Definitely differentials, but they're sharing minutes. Who started the last one? Welbeck, right. So I haven't added Welbeck on here, actually. I should. Well, I shouldn't really. But in CISO as well, you can see 45 minutes, just not reliable. Let's have a quick look at Welbeck. And we can see, yeah, it's just uninspiring. I wouldn't go for them. But the hot debate, Isak or Wilson? What could be a very long debate comes down to two things. High upside is Wilson. If you wanted like a 20-point return, Wilson's probably more likely to be the guy. Isak is slow, steady, still probably good returns, but you're less likely going to get a monster return. So it's either high upside, low floor, or high floor, I guess medium ceiling. The same price. It's hard. This is my advice. If you're chasing in your mini league, I would do Wilson. If not, I would go Isak. Most likely, they'll each start at least one of the 2 games. We saw in the other double, I think they had another double, where they started each one respectively. But could you see both starting in one of the games? I could, and then one of the games maybe just Isak starts, because Wilson is injury prone-esque. So, in summary, I reveal what I might do for my team, but the debate is, if you need to chase and want a high score, go Wilson. Otherwise, Isak is probably more of a safe pick. Just want to look at if there's any other Newcastle midfielders to consider. Almiron's back. Has he been starting? No. Willock's interesting, actually. If you're looking for a differential, and if you look at his XG numbers, so 0.4, 0.22, 0.22, 0.29, I think he could get a flurry of goals. Am I going to go for him? No, because I don't really want a striker. Otherwise, I'd get rid of March for, let's say, Willock, and then a Ferguson, say, or Welbeck. Welbeck and Willock would be proper Arsenal throwback, but Joe Linton, wow, stay away from him. Guimaraes, he's a good player, but not an FPL player. So Matsaman, nah. So then the other player on people's radars is Murphy. So where's Murphy? And his numbers is actually quite good. So you got 0.54 expected goal involvements. Got 2 goals on that game, but that was against Spurs, which was a really weird game. Then he got, but that's in 22 minutes. He got 1.13 XG. That's crazy. 22 minutes. But then last game against Arsenal, more likely to assist and score. He's not exciting, but it would make you feel good if you did well. So that's what I'd leave it as that. But yeah, so in summary, I'd say Newcastle, if you haven't got him already, obviously Trippier, but you'll have him. I would probably double up on the defence. To be fair, actually, if you haven't doubled on defence, having Wilson and Isak, if you've got 2 transfers, could be worth it. Because I think both will return. As much as there's a debate of either or, I reckon they'll both end up with about 12 points each. So this debate means nothing. But of the 2, I'll reveal which one I'll prefer for my team. But Wilson or Isak, right? Brighton, Matoma, McAllister, defence. I guess it's Stupinan. Makes sense, especially just for the next few weeks. You kind of get more potential attacking returns. Though still, just to touch on him a little bit more, he has been getting good bonus points when he keeps clean sheets. So, or at least saves. So what was this? He saved a penalty, so I guess he would get bonus points there. They kept a clean sheet here, got 2 bonus points here. So he's obviously not going to get assists, unlikely. So it really then is about. Then it's really just about if you want the bonus points, and he's quite cheap. So, captaincy. Have I got all the captains I think I'm most likely I'd pick from? Okay, no. So just go to forwards. Captaincy. Is it just straight Haaland? I think it's more grey, actually. What are the fixtures? When do City play? Sunday. Interesting. The question is, does Haaland start? If I had to say, probably. But with Champions League on the horizon, they can technically lose. Alvarez didn't play a game at all. I think Alvarez might start. Haaland might be on the bench. And so then you're not going to captain him. Now, obviously, you gravitate towards the double game weekers. So whoever of Wilson, Isak you go. Or if you have both, then it just depends on your situation. If you need to chase, go Wilson. If not, be solid with Isak. So this is the order. The Newcastle boys. And then that just depends if you need to try to make up ground. Is it then hard? Then Salah against Leicester for sure. Those 3. If you're not doing it on Salah or the Newcastle guys, I probably wouldn't do it on any Brighton unless you're feeling McAllister, but I wouldn't. Otherwise, probably then Haaland and then sure Matoma. Kane is just going to be a solid pick. He'll probably return. Might not be that exciting. That's all I can say. I mean, he's returned in the last 4 games. He's returned, 8 in the last 9 games. So, he's been having a crazy season. And without Haaland doing his stuff, he'd be talked about a lot more. But that was captaincy. Now it's to have a look at my team. So let's just have a look at the setup. So I'm recording this Friday. And the news of Rashford I've just found out. 25%, if you look at what Ten Hag have allegedly said, has a leg injury, and Ten Hag says the forward is more than doubtful, which probably means they doesn't play, which is crazy to think for their Champions League race, because if they lose, which is possible against Wolves, then Liverpool, it's exciting, which makes Salah a better captain pick just because of the importance of their games. But for me, I'm probably going to start Rashford on the bench because I don't really want him to come on for 10 minutes or something like that. But then, if he does start, wouldn't you want him? That's the thing. I think I'm going to keep him on the bench, which then makes it easier for the transfers I'm going to make. Before, I probably had a team like this. where I had two viable bench options, Stones and Shaw. If Rashford can't play, I'm getting Shaw. And then I'm going to get a Newcastle defender to get rid of Jota because he's pissing me off. Though he's probably going to do well now, so I'm going to get rid of him, but such is life. And then March, I'm going to get rid of him, take a -4. Is it wise? Let's see. I think basically, so I'm going to reveal the transfers I'm going to make, which is I'm probably going to do Isak. It's a boring pick, but I think maybe I'm hedging it by chasing the points with McAllister as well. Because what I could feasibly do is imagine Jota being Isak, March will become Stones. Could do that, not take the -4. But instead, I kind of want the minutes. And so, right, let's do the transfers. Okay, let's do it. It's worth. The reason why McAllister's worth it is because he's going to play probably the next 2 as well. He's got back-to-back doubles, so yeah, that's why. Could March be back soon, though? 21st of May. So he's already quoted to be out for the next 2. It's not a good sign. It's just not a good sign. What has the Zerbi said, actually? Just to see if it sways us at all. Brighton against Arsenal. There we go. So it hasn't said the date on this part. It says that Ferguson could start. So he could be a cheeky differential. But it would be like if I chose Ferguson and then went for Murphy, whilst Isak and McAllister sounds so much better. But for the moves, McAllister's in for sure. He will beat them my double for the next week. And then we take... How much money we got left? Okay. Jota for one of the Newcastle boys. Wilson is enticing. He probably will score, but... So... a part of rationale, he actually didn't get, and I had to check this on FBref, but I thought it was a typo that he didn't get any XG against Arsenal. That is shocking. Shocking. And we got the game before, he did get 2.38 though. But you'd get annoyed if it was, say, this period where it would be he played 45 minutes and 34 minutes. He still got an assist. So that's 5 points. But Isak, he is the clear number 1 in terms of starting. Look at those minutes. Even if he doesn't start 1, he's going to start one of the games. 100%. Brighton as well. I've been conceding a lot. Which is why, well, I'll actually talk about it in a sec. But, nah, it's Isak. Also with McAllister, a point with McAllister would be Arsenal. Zinchenko's injured. Arsenal's defence could be get at, though they're starting Kiwior now? I can't pronounce actually, but instead of Holding, which has definitely helped recent performance, and so they haven't been conceding as much. But right, we're taking -4, not going to think about it. Confirm. And subject to change, but I mean, it's coming up now anyway. Salah vice captain? We'll do Salah vice captain. I haven't really thought about Edison or Kepa. But Chelsea are just so rubbish. You know? Let me just quickly check how Forest have been scoring wise. I feel like they've been scoring. So they haven't been blanking, but I could be wrong. So let's have a look at Brendan Johnson. 4-3, 2-1, 3-1, 3-2, 2-0. So in recent games, they've been scoring for their life. Where are they now? No. 33 points, so yeah. They still need points to survive. Oh, Leicester looking so bad. Which is making that Liverpool game very interesting. But let's do it. Captain Isak, Vice Captain Salah, Botman, Trippier, Shaw, Estupinan. He might not start, which solves my problem. XG conceded. Their XG numbers in these 3 games are just so low, but they keep conceding. Whilst if we look at Chelsea, 1.26, 2. Right, that solved it. Ederson starting. He's probably going to keep clean sheet, but Ortega's going to start. Fernandez, fine. Rashford will obviously keep him there for the double. Question is if he comes on, would I want Stones there instead? Sure. Let's do that. Right, that's the team. 3 weeks left. So we really need to, if you need to gain ground, now's the time. Go for the differentials. Go for Wilson, not Isak, which is boring, but that's what I'm doing. Next week will be more exciting because it's quite a bigger double game week, and it's got the bigger exciting, the bigger teams. So the Cities, United, Brighton, not Liverpool, Chelsea. I think it's just 04 actually, but that's a big double game week to end the season. Well, ultimate week of the season, but exciting times. Good luck for your FPL game week, and let's see what happens. All right, catch you later.